do, y'all? We back with another episode of Wrestling with Exotics. It's your boy, the franchise kid, franchise Jerry, the face that runs the place, and I'm glad to be back, ready to talk about AEW Revolution. This pay-per-view is outstanding, and I can't wait to break it down with y'all. First and foremost, if you're new to the show, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I love you all. With that being said, let's talk about the first match. The first match was for the TNT Championship, featuring Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia. Now I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I don't feel like Daniel Garcia was ready to be TNT Champion. I feel like he needs some more character development and some more wrestling development. I don't feel like he has the moveset to be able to carry this title for a long period of time. I do feel like he's better than Christian Cage, but at the same time, that would be a good debate because Christian, he's still savvy in the ring. You know, he obviously has his veteran moves and all, but at the same time, Danny's got that energy and he's got some moves that can really break you down. But at the same time, what they're doing with Christian Cage is unbelievably great. But I have to admit, it is a little bit annoying simply because it's kind of like the Roman Reigns thing. You're using your entire family to help you win matches. We can't really tell how good of a wrestler you are because of that. So we can sit here and call you the GOAT, but are you for real? And I don't feel like you really get that credit unless you win by yourself. Like, that's why I like Gunther as a champion, because even though he's in a group, he's like, if y'all come out here and interrupt this match, I'm going to slap the shit out of both of y'all. You know, so Gunther don't play that shit. In my opinion, I feel like Christian Cage should definitely drop this belt. Well, not drop it, but lose it in a match to someone worthy of being champion. And I don't want to see another repeat champion like Darby Allin or Miro. I want to see someone like Jay White, Orange Cassidy, Will Ospreay, or even Okada hold this belt next. Or even Daniel Bryan. I feel like with those guys, they can definitely up the prestige of the TNT Championship and make it more than what it is right now. Christian's great and all, but he's not really stamping that title or putting it on the map like the International Championship is, or even the AEW Championship. So, as you can see, it's not really that relevant. The next match I want to talk about is for the Continental Championship. This was featuring Daniel Bryan and Eddie Kingston. And, man, how embarrassing was this for Daniel Bryan? Right now, Daniel Bryan isn't no different from Drew McIntyre. They've been losing title matches for a long period of time now. And on top of that, the way Daniel lost in this match was like, come on, bro. The match was great all the way up until the ending, because Daniel ended up losing to a simple-ass powerbomb in the middle of the ring. And I honestly couldn't believe it. And I know Daniel was even more sick because after the match, he had to shake this nigga's hand like he's better than him. And I know that shit was eating Daniel's spirit. Because if you guys know, Daniel do not fuck with him. And Daniel's very proud in his wrestling. That's not something that he wants to admit. But I'm sure he definitely respects Eddie Kingston. He has to at this point. The man can put you down on multiple occasions. You got to tip your cap to Eddie Kingston, though. He definitely competed in this match, and especially when he came in as the underdog, even though he probably didn't even see himself as that. But beating Daniel Bryan is one hell of a feat, so congratulations to him. In my honest opinion, I feel like if Daniel Bryan can't win a championship this year in AEW, he should consider going back to WWE. Because at least he'll get a better check if you're going to be taking all these L's. What's the point of taking L's and you're not even getting as big of a check as you could be, you know? And I say that because WWE obviously has the bigger audience. So I would like to see him definitely go back. I mean, it wouldn't be crazy if he did. He already still gets a lot of love in that company without him even being there. They're showing him in the vignettes and stuff, and then people still do the yes chants. So I'm sure the moment he comes back, crazy pop, and he's going to be right there leading in merchandise sales. So yeah, he should definitely consider that. Next match I want to talk about is the Battle Royal that was going to determine who was going to be the #1 contender for Samoa Joe's AEW Championship. And the winner of that match was actually Wardlow. And I must say, this is probably the best match I've seen Wardlow in since watching AEW. I don't really see him in too many nice matches, to be real. Like, he usually just beats the hell out of someone that's obviously lesser than him, or he gets finesse. So, you know, you don't really see him put on in the ring like he did in this match. So, I was actually impressed by his performance, and I'm actually excited to see him versus Samoa Joe. But do I think he's going to beat Samoa Joe? Hell to the no. Not without the Undisputed Kingdom, at least. And that's Adam Cole's little weak ass group that he done put together. Well, I'm not even going to say it's weak. He's weak because he's coming out here like Professor Xavier in this damn wheelchair, and he's just giving orders and saying what niggas is going to do for him. And I think it's just crazy. When you see Adam Cole pull up in the wheelchair, you're just like, man, this group could be so cool if he wasn't injured. So that's basically what I'm just waiting for, is finally Adam Cole not to be injured, so that way I can have some real interest in this group. But we're going to talk about Roderick Strong a little bit later. Shout out to him. But like I was saying, Joe versus Wardlow, I definitely don't see him beating Samoa Joe straight up. Mostly because you're not about to just be doing whatever you want to Samoa Joe, number one. And number two, he's way more technical, so Wardlow isn't going to just be able to bully Samoa Joe in this match. I feel like Samoa Joe is going to eventually take control of the match and put Wardlow to sleep, if the Undisputed Kingdom doesn't interrupt the match. But moving on, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about Roderick Strong. He was in this match versus Orange Cassidy for the International Championship. In my honest opinion, this was one of the best matches of the entire night. I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, Orange Cassidy, my favorite wrestler in AEW, lost the championship to Roderick Strong, but I didn't feel too bad because Roderick Strong is someone that I've been wanting to have a championship, so that way he can actually show how great he is. And I understand that he never really got the shine that he deserved because he basically is vanilla. You know, he don't really got too much to his character. He can wrestle his ass off, but he's kind of dull as a character. And that's also why we've been seeing him do all this little extra dramatic shit on the side with the neck brace and everything. He's trying to show you that, hey, I do got character and I can be entertaining and I'm not just a good wrestler. But at the same time, you got to tip your cap to Orange Cassidy. 43 overall championship wins. Like, come on. More championship wins than any champion ever in AEW history. And you got to mention how this man's back was heavily taped up. You know, the writing was on the wall for Orange Cassidy to lose this match. That's also why I didn't really feel too bad. Like, he's been putting on, like I said, 43 overall championship wins. And a lot of those matches, they was grueling matches. You know, Orange Cassidy isn't built like Wardlow. He built like me. You know, we not really the biggest guys. So imagine all the slams, imagine all the submissions, all the torture Orange Cassidy has gone through within those 43 wins. Like, he did his thing with that shit. So, like I said, man, you got to tip your cap to him. Roderick Strong was really impressive, though, in this match. Every time it seemed that Orange Cassidy was about to gain momentum, Roderick Strong would just do another demoralizing move to Orange Cassidy to just kill all of that. And not only that, but Roderick Strong also debuted a little mean streak in this match, which you don't normally see from him. Like, he's usually just, you know, he get in the ring and he vanilla. I also want to mention, I like how the Undisputed Kingdom doesn't interfere in none of these matches. You know, we didn't see them interfere in the Battle Royal, and we didn't see them interfere in this match, which also gives Roderick Strong and Wardlow that extra credit. Like, okay, you guys can be good on your own and you don't need group support, which is always a good sign. At the very end of this match, Kyle O'Reilly came back, and it wasn't clear where his allegiance was just yet. But on this last week's Dynamite, he had said, you know, the easy way is joining a group. But this time around, I want to see if I can do it on my own. And I respect Kyle O'Reilly for that. It's going to be a tough road, but Kyle O'Reilly, he got it. He's definitely a credible wrestler. He's not as decorated as everybody else, but, you know, he's someone that you don't want to bullshit around with in the ring. So Hopefully this singles path that he goes on goes well for him. I quickly want to talk about the FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club match. I gave that match a 4. This match was turned. I'm not gonna lie. They beat the shit out of each other. Like, it was definitely a grueling matchup. As I'm watching this match and I'm watching Jon Moxley beat the shit out of everybody and make Dax pretty much bleed all over the place, I'm just like, yo, this is why I always say Jon Moxley is the best Shield member. Because you look at this type of match and you could never envision Seth or Roman Reigns being in this kind of match and then turning it into a high profile, possibly one of the best matches of the entire night. Like, you know, you can obviously put Seth and Roman Reigns in a tag team and, you know, they'll put on a good display, but they're not going to go as far as Jon Moxley is going to go in that match, you know. And you got to know, when you're going up against Jon Moxley, get ready for the pain, and you 9 times out of the 10 are going to bleed. So you don't get that with Roman Reigns, and that's also what I've been saying. If Roman started, you know, really showing why you the tribal chief and asserting his dominance, I feel like people would take him even more seriously, and at that point, I could see him holding his title for even longer than just WrestleMania, which I have him going over Cody as well. Next on WWX, we're going to be talking about the AEW Women's Championship match featuring Diana versus Toni Storm. Now, Diana was about to beat Toni Storm in this match, but unfortunately, the Butler had to get involved. Now, I say unfortunately because I want to see Toni Storm win these kind of matches clean. I want to see her assert her dominance and display her full-on ring talent in the match. I feel like she could have definitely won this match without cheating. She don't need nobody to help her win. She's just that good. And I understand that it's a part of her character, but at the same time, I feel like it's making a statement when you don't have help. But aside from that, this was a great match. And as I was watching this match, I was thinking, how would this character do in WWE? I feel like it would do well in WWE, but they would probably clean it up a little bit. Probably have her say some different shit, and probably have her, I don't know, you can't really change this character. This character is perfect. I don't know why it wouldn't do well in WWE. But, you know, I know that's a lot of wrestlers' fear of going to WWE and then not being able to have this type of creative for yourself. You know, this is a brilliant idea by Toni Storm, and I feel like this will do good on any promotion. One thing you can definitely say about this character is it's truly original. Like, even the promos, everything that she's saying, and then even when they're showing her, they got her shown in black and white, you know, which I also think is dope. So Toni Storm is definitely changing the game. And on top of that, I can really tell that Tony Khan loves her and what she does in the ring. So I know she's going to be champion for at least a couple more months for sure, the way it's looking. I mean, I don't really see anybody on the roster that's better than her right now as well. So I can't wait to see what's next for Toni Storm. Up next, I want to talk about what I think was the match of the night. Will Ospreay versus Takeshita. Now, if we're rating matches, I would have rated this match a 4.5. It was almost a 5-star match. And the only reason why I say it wasn't was because no real crazy OMG moments happen where like someone's going through a barricade or something crazy like that. But the wrestling was on point, yo. I ain't never seen Takeshita wrestle like this before in my fucking life. This is the best match I've ever seen Takeshita have. And I've seen Takeshita in a few good matches here and there, but none was like this match that he had with Will Ospreay. I didn't know that he had that type of back. I had to keep double checking the television like, is that Takeshita? I thought it was somebody else the way he was wrestling in this match. They was really trying to knock each other the fuck out. You would have thought a title was on the line or something. And I love the way Will Ospreay ended this match. His finisher is so cold, that hidden blade where the dude is like basically sitting down facing the other way, and then he basically comes from behind and hits a nigga with the elbow in the back of the dome. Like, bro, what? You gonna give somebody CTE with that shit? But yeah, after seeing this match, you gotta give respect to both wrestlers. And I feel like Takeshita is gonna be viewed in a whole different light now because, like I said, ain't nobody knew he could wrestle like that. I mean, I done seen glimpses here and there of possible greatness, but it wasn't like this match. Very impressive showing by both wrestlers. So many big moves and great chain wrestling. You can definitely tell they didn't hold back one bit. And this is definitely what I'd be talking about. In areas that AEW may be lacking in, they definitely make up for it with their wrestling. Like, these were some solid wrestling matches. You guys can nitpick the stories and be like, it don't make sense and this and that. But when they get down to that wrestling, yeah, it's always on point. You can't hate on that. And that's what I've been wanting WWE to have more of. I like watching competitive wrestling. Like, yeah, the gimmicks and the storylines is cool and all, but I got into wrestling to see who's the best of the best. That's why John Cena my favorite wrestler. Because when he started winning this world championship, he didn't use any help. He didn't have any factions, none of that. He competed in every match by himself on his own strength. And on top of that, his matches were competitive. And that's really what I'd be looking for in this new era is how competitive are the matches going to be? Yeah, the storylines is cool, but is the wrestling going to be there? For example, like Jimmy versus Jay. Yeah, that storyline's cool, but is the wrestling going to be there for real? Or are we going to see a bunch of super kicks and frog splashes? Like, come on now. Alright, for the AEW Championship, Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page in a triple threat match. I gotta say, at age 44, this was a dominant showing by Samoa Joe. He made sure he was involved in pretty much every point of this match, which was highly impressive. And I highlighted his age because, at 44, a lot of niggas wish they can do what Samoa Joe is doing at 44. He is beating niggas the fuck up, putting them to sleep, and all type of shit, yo. And this is why I always like Samoa Joe. Because he don't bullshit. He's top 10 favorite wrestlers of all time for me. And I've been waiting for him to get this type of spotlight. And he's showing you why you can definitely trust him to be the face that runs the place. Now let me tell you why Swerve and Hangman didn't win this match. Because they are too focused on trying to hold each other. Like, this shit is so annoying. Swerve, you don't really want to be the first ever black AEW champion. You don't really want that. And I could tell because you had an opportunity to beat Samoa Joe, but instead you wanted to try to do a move on Hangman Adam Page, and that shit didn't work out, and that was your last opportunity to win this match. And then Hangman, you want to go and knock out the referee. So when you finally do your finisher to Samoa Joe, there ain't nobody there to count. And then you got to wait for a fucking ring to come from the back. Like, you guys had every opportunity to possibly win this match, and you guys fumbled the bag because of your hatred for each other. And to be real, I'm sick of watching you guys fight. I want this shit to be over with. Like, why are you still fighting? Y'all did all that crazy ass shit to each other. Had matches on Dynamite, everything. Like, we are tired of this shit. It's time to move the fuck on and get back to winning championships. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. And it don't look like you guys is about a bag. I rated this match a 3.5. I would have rated it higher if the match was more competitive, but it wasn't. It just seemed like Swerve and Hangman was trying to fuck each other up the entire match versus really trying to take out Samoa Joe, who's the champ. And like I said, Samoa Joe stayed in the ring pretty much the majority of this match. Like, that shit was insane at 44. So you got to tip your cap to Samoa Joe. Shout out to him. That's my dog. And I can't wait to see what's next. Well, actually, it looks like Warlow. But, it's not going to be just that easy. We're going to see what's next. And I'll be reporting that here in a few weeks. Last but not least, we're going to talk about our main event. Tornado tag match for the AEW Tag Team Championships featuring Darby Allin and Sting, featuring Ric Flair, he's the manager, versus the Young Bucks, the vice presidents, right? Oh, with Ricky Steamboat as a special guest announcer. So shout out to him. I was highly impressed by this match. I gave this match 5 stars. Sting is damn near 64, 65 years old, and he's giving you 5-star quality matches. What didn't they do in this match? People was going through glass. Sting went through 3 different tables. This was a great way to go out. And I think the best part is Sting, not only did he win, but he got to retire as a champion. You know, not too many wrestlers get to go out like that. Usually they go out shameful. Honestly, the way he went out in WWE was horrible because Triple H ended up going over, which was a win that he didn't even need at that time. I hated how they let Sting go out in WWE, but this was a great send-off by AEW. This match was impressive as hell. Darby Allin jumped off a motherfucking high-ass ladder through a sheet of glass. He thinking Nick is going to be laying there. Nick was like, hell no, I'm not going to be laying there. And then Darby just goes crashing through it. And then Sting pretty much fought the match by himself the majority of the time. But like I said, this was a great send-off for Sting, and he really did leave it all in the ring. He tried everything. He did everything. This man got put through 3 different tables and was getting up. And then he even got sent through the sheet of glass. And then he still won the match. That was the best part, him winning the match. That, like, you don't want to go out on a loss. And I thought it was crazy because I was seeing on social media that Sting actually had suggested that he lose the match. And usually that's how it would go in other situations. But Sting, this is like your last match ever, bro. Like, you can't lose this match. You know, imagine Ric Flair losing that last match that he passed out 3 times in. He would still be trying to be in the ring right now trying to wrestle. He actually was in the ring in this match at one point, and he actually got kicked back into retirement by the Young Bucks for trying to protect Sting. I don't know why Ric Flair got in there and just thought that him doing this was enough. No, this hand up right here, that was not doing shit. The Young Bucks, Nike dunks to his chin. But yeah, I'm extremely proud to say that I got to see Sting's last match. Sting has always been one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He's actually one of the first wrestlers that I knew of. Like I said, knew of because I didn't really get to actually see him wrestle. But one day, like I found WWE, just scrolling through the television channels, I found TNA. And then I found Sting. And then I actually got to become a real fan and then watch him hold 4 or 5 world championships in TNA. And that's when Sting became iconic, you know. I'm going to miss seeing Sting wrestle all the time. But, you know, every dog has his day. And I'm pretty sure if Sting was in shape enough, he'd still do this shit. But, you know, you got to quit at some point. But at the same time, that's also why I have so much respect for Ric Flair. Because he's like, I don't care how old I get. I'm telling you, I'm going to die in that ring. And that's just the type of energy you got to have about everything that you go through in life. Like, no matter what, I am going to succeed. And I'm going to do me, no matter what anybody thinks. And that's what it's all about. And for you guys that are wondering what's next for the Tag Team Championship titles, well, the next winner will be determined in the Tag Team Tournament, which they'll have these upcoming weeks on Dynamite. Overall, this was a solid pay-per-view. I would give this pay-per-view a 4.5. It was well put together. I love the matches. I love the pace. And everything made sense. And I'm proud again to say that I witnessed Sting's last match. That was a perfect way to go out. And watching that match and Jon Moxley's match, I couldn't help but think like, man, if WWE would get back to having more shit like this, pretty much doing what got them to the big dance, there would be even more interest in WWE. Hopefully WWE makes a transition and has more realistic matches like these. These were highly competitive and really captivating. So really good job by AEW. I enjoyed this pay-per-view for sure. And with that being said, that's going to wrap up our show. I appreciate everybody out there for always tuning in. I love you guys. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. And then also go tap in with my website, the Players Club franchise, where we got the Players Club gear for all the franchise members out there. And I really appreciate everybody out there for watching. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I love y'all. Y'all stay safe. Peace.